Hey everybody, look! Virgil finally got a new devil arm. Also, really loving the Dante redesign. He is crushing it. And Nero? Mwah. Sometimes I can't help myself. Hey y'all, Ryan here. I'm in a good mood. I'm sure you can guess why. Also, by the way, this is my first unscripted video ever, so if it's rambly and completely fucking incoherent, that's why. Anyways, I know we all kind of knew this was coming, but I don't think really any of us were expecting what we got. But yeah, Devil May Cry 5. This thing is going to be contentious. I mean, I sure as hell know that I had a knee-jerk reaction to seeing it. Because, I mean, like, just fucking look at it. Like, this looked like it was going to be DMC 2, right? It's not just me. There's no way that wasn't intentional. But you know what? I honestly think that might be for the best. I know I've never talked about the reboot on this channel, but suffice to say, I'm a bit more forgiving towards it than a lot of people. Yeah, it has its problems, but, you know, what doesn't? And especially now that we officially have a proper Devil May Cry 5, I feel pretty okay with it. More importantly though, I know there's a lot of people who really, genuinely, earnestly love that game. And don't get me wrong, I wanted this sequel, but I'm happy to see that those fans aren't just getting burnt. Devil May Cry 5 is looking like it's going to be a middle ground between DMC with a small m and DMC with a big M, at least in terms of aesthetic. As far as I'm concerned, it's clearly aiming to be more OG DMC in terms of gameplay than it is to be, you know, not. So, as an olive branch to both the fan bases this series has and a modernization of a dormant franchise, I think it's looking fucking great. We'll see what they do with Nero, but I think putting him kind of at the forefront is the best call they could have made. With any luck, this will be the story they wanted to do with 4 in its entirety. Let's talk about the change in art style, because I know that's going to be a whole thing. Like I said, I feel like this game is making certain concessions to people who are fans of the reboot. And I feel like the art style is probably one of the safer concessions to be making. Does it look different? Yeah, but the entire industry has changed around Devil May Cry in the time it's been gone. As such, it's only natural that it would kind of try and change. I mean, I opened this video making fun of it by saying that it looks like Final Fantasy 15 and Scalebound, and that's simply because that's what games look like nowadays. The fact of the matter is, nowadays, Japanese developers make their games for a Western audience. So this game, in whatever form it was ever going to take, was always going to look a bit more Western than the other games. We live in a different culture now, and as such, I'm pretty cozy with this exchange if it means we, you know, get the fucking game. Plus, like I said, it looks like Final Fantasy 15 or Scalebound. I wasn't upset about those. I'm not going to be upset about this. I don't blame you if you are. Go ahead. I understand why you might find it offensive. It's just, sorry, I ain't got the fire for this one. Dante has a beard now, and this is undoubtedly going to generate a million fucking memes. Don't know how, don't know why, don't know when, just know it's gonna. I've already seen a bit of pushback on the enemy design, but honestly, I'm kind of here for it. They seem to be going hard M on this, and as such, if that means I can get basic enemies that, you know, fucking bleed, then I'm excited for it, because I am tired of beating up on literal fucking sandbags. What else is there to talk about? Right, music! Yeah, I'm already seeing a lot of pushback on this, and I'm going to defend it. To me, I see this as them trying to modernize the series in a real way. None of that edgy reboot stuff, but actually taking all of the stuff that worked really well about 3 and 4, and doing what they can to bring that into the modern era. So with that in mind, it's with a heavy heart I must tell you guys, Slipknot ain't cool anymore. It ain't. You may like them, you may even really love them. That's fine, I'm not trying to tear into Slipknot. However, if you still think they count as cutting edge or rebellious nowadays, I got some bad news for you. So seeing them go in an EDM direction, or even like an aggro-tech direction like they did with the reboot, I think is kind of a really good call. Because don't get me wrong, I want this game, and I want it to be the best game it possibly can be, and I'm happy that Devil May Cry 5 has been announced. But you know what I also want, frankly? Devil May Cry 6. And bringing a game up to speed with modern culture is kind of how you get that. I care about this franchise as a whole, and I want it to have the best and healthiest life it possibly can. And if we ever want that to happen, they're going to have to kind of modernize it. And as far as ways to modernize it go, I'd much rather have them try to update the music rather than dumb down the gameplay. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I can't even remember the last time I played Devil May Cry with the fucking sound on. Just start grinding in that game and, yeah, I don't need to hear Sworn by Swords fucking again. The fuck was I talking about? Right, video games. At the time of making this, we still don't know what the new girl's name is, but I like her. I mean, sure, maybe she'll turn out to be a little obnoxious, but come on, Devil May Cry is basically batting 100 in terms of likable protagonists so far, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm at least going to wait till I see more of her before I really make a judgment. But I do think there's a place for her within the cast. We don't really have a super high energy character to speak of. I mean, sure, we have Nero and Dante, but outside of combat, they tend to be pretty chilled out. So having a character who's like ready to go at any waking moment, I think there's potential there. Combat looks like DMC4, but more, which is all I have ever wanted, Capcom. But thank you. Why am I taking pot shots at Capcom? They just gave me what I fucking wanted. I am the worst kind of fan. God damn it. Honestly, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it at this point. This is looking like exactly the game I wanted them to make. Just from the little bits of story we've already gotten, I earnestly believe that there is a ton of potential here. You can't talk me out of being excited for a game in which Virgil cuts off Nero's arm. And the gameplay, well, it's Devil May Cry being directed by Itsuno. I have literally no fear. None. The absolute worst case scenario here is that we get another Itsuno game. And Itsuno is a talented developer, even outside of Devil May Cry, so no matter what, I'm on board. I have my hopes, I have my dreams, but no matter what, I'm here for it. Although I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. This is still modern day Capcom after all. So if things start to seem a little sketchy, I'll be among the first to be off the hype train. I'd say we have good reason to be excited, but don't sell your soul quite yet. But as is, it's hard for me to deny it. Honestly, I haven't felt like this since Nier Automata, and that was basically the best game I ever played. Like, let me check here. Yeah, I just fact-checked that. Nier Automata is in fact the best game I've ever played. So, you know, just setting realistic expectations for myself. And for the moment, I say that we just all take a deep breath and appreciate that the long wait is finally over. No matter how this turns out, I will say we have all at least earned that much. Also, I want to say on a very personal note that if I've learned anything through all of this, it's that trying to figure out how to end a video when you don't have a script is actually a really hard thing to do. This better be the best game ever. Don't fuck it up, Capcom. I love you all. Bye!
Want to know the name? Devil May Cry.